Hope everybody had a wonderful, wonderful weekend. All right, here we go. There we go. We got the link up here. Got to move this up here. Got to turn on the video and say hello to everybody too. Good morning, everybody. Hello there. Let me just share my screen and then we can get started. There we go. Let's put the futures on so we can see what's happening here. Woo, look at that. Little sell off there in the morning. All right, let's say hello to everybody here and let's mute this thing so it doesn't hear us. Good morning and good morning and good morning, everybody. I hope everybody's doing great. You should be able to see my screen okay. We got David. Um, we got David. We got Omar. We got Carrie. We got Pat, Zen Master, Wayne, Ivano, Patrick, Tom, Ricky, Brian. Good morning, Brian. Richard, Robert, Rich. Good morning, Rich. Dennis, Mazen, Jill, Lewis, Penny, Wade, Infinitely, Lee, Scott, Cam. Good morning, Good morning, Cam. What are you doing back in Austin? Gotcha. Richard from Puente Gorda. Good morning. Stacy. Uh, Oh, thank you, Stacy. I was happy. It was nice to go with my wife to the beach yesterday. It was actually very nice. Yeah, we hung out yesterday. We had a good time. It was they had a dinner at the beach club yesterday. So we went yesterday. T-Bus was busy. He couldn't come. Dr. Serena, my actuary's here. Michael, Ray, Dave, Jim, Nina, Tim, Richard, R. Jacques is here. Richard, Patrick, Darren, David, Brian. We got everybody here. Before we continue, don't forget customer service live from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Very, 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 very important. War Dog is in the house. Darren, Art. We'll be starting in just a minute, folks. Here's a link. Kane is going on by himself today to talk about his gamma pockets, which has taken the world by storm, like I knew it would. I was there by his side last week, but now he's ready to continue delivering the goods on his own, and I'm sure about that. Uh, girls can't wait. They haven't had enough of his gamma pockets. We never could have imagined the response we got, and Kane will have at least one new alert coming this week, so don't delay. And here is the link for that. Eagle Beagle, Roddy, Tori, Randy. And by the way, thank you for all the amazing emails we've been getting. I mean, we've been getting, and I used to not post them in the Telegram channel. I thought it was a bit much, but I'm finding out that it's inspiring a lot of you. So I'm now posting like a third of them in the Telegram channel. I don't want to like I don't want it to be like a permanent advertisement, but we've been getting some really good feedback from folks. People are very, very happy. Now, before we begin, we really begin, I want to go through something that somebody asked me last week. Good morning, Ben. So we took a trade in the pit on Ally Bank on Thursday. This stock right here, it was an earnings play. It's called a time spread, and I want to explain to you what we did, okay? So you guys understand exactly what the spread is and how we made out like bandits on it. A lot of folks made about 50 to 100% on that trade. Good morning, Albert Einstein. So I want to show you, here's Ally Bank. Ally was right here when we initiated the trade. It was right near 36, okay? So if you go to the option chain, this was last Friday, okay? Actually, last Thursday we did the trade. So last Thursday, we bought the 36 call that's expiring this Friday, okay? and we sold the 36 call that's expiring last Friday. Okay. So the stock traded below 36, and the call that expired last Friday expired worthless. The call that expires this Friday is now 35 cents last. Now, when we did the spread last week, remember, we bought the 36 and we sold the 36 from last week. We did the spread for about 16 cents. Okay? So the spread cost to us was 36 cents. The spread, the option that we sold is now bye-bye. It's worthless. It's gone. And the spread we have left, the 36 long, is now worth 35 cents. And if you spend 15 or 16 cents on it, here, let me show you what I'm talking about. Let me just go back there so you'll see what I'm talking about. Your ally. See, 36, here it is, right here, Thursday, October 17th. You sell the call expiring tomorrow. That's the 36 call expiring on Friday of last week. You buy the call expiring next Friday. That's this 36 call that's expiring this Friday, right? Total debit around 16 cents. Okay? 16 cents. How much is this right now? Last. 35. What's 16 multiplied by 2? It's 32. It's 35 now. And the call that you sold expired worthless. Here's the best part. If you didn't liquidate this part of the spread, you have another 4 days for Ally Bank to go up. If Ally goes up another $1, the option will cost 70 cents. You spend 16 cents on it. If it goes up $2, it'll be worth $1.32. You spent 16 cents on it. If it goes up $3, you make 10 times your money. You spend 16 cents on it. Is there anything here that is not understood, or is this like a capiche and an oh shit moment that you could be trading earnings this way? You spend 16 cents. You have unlimited upside for 4 more days, and you could have doubled your money by taking it off on Friday. Not bad way to trade earnings, right? Now, Carla, you asked me to show you this. I don't think you're here right now, but you can always watch the replay. But that's how you trade earnings. That's how professional traders trade earnings. Okay? That's how you trade earnings. Okay? All right, now let's begin. And if anybody has a question, you can email me. We do them as bonus spreads in the pit. That one was about 100%, as you could see right here. But they have a potential to go higher and higher because Allied, the option, the 36 call that we have, it doesn't expire till Friday. And if Allied goes up, that option could be worth quite a bit. It already doubled, but it could be worth up to 10 times, 20, 30, 40 times as much. All right? Good morning, Sandra. Good morning, Mike. Good morning, Heather. Good morning, Shen, Sassy Trainer, Duzzy, Jim, Zoe. So you close the sell and hold onto the call. Yes, or you could just liquidate them at the same time, like you could have on Friday for 34 cents, because that one was still worth a penny. You're welcome. All right. It's called a time spread, better AKA calendar spread. Now, you probably thought calendar spreads. I didn't know you could do that with calendar spreads. What do I always tell you guys? It's not what you do. There's a perfect time to do just about everything in the market. You just need to line up what needs to be done with the right strategy. That's the problem most of you are having. Okay? All right. What do we have coming up this week? We've got a bunch of Fed speakers speaking today. Their impact is very little right now because we're in a deflationary period. Oh, by the way, those are bonus trades that I give in the pit because I'm a nice guy. We got Harris speaking. We got manufacturing. The big news first part of the week is going to be the beige book. This is going to reflect on what the Fed has been talking and doing before their Fed announcement. We've got existing home sales. Home sales are big this week. You got new home sales, existing home sales, and then the big reports are consumer sentiment and durable goods. These reports are second tier reports. Good morning, Rachel. Good morning, Tom. And good morning, Colleen. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Remember, Kane is having another class today at 2 o'clock. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be a lot of fun. I will be in my VIP room at noon today, as usual. And don't forget Customer Service Live, Cam and Gustavo show from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Link in your members area, a big, big link. We should make it highlighted, Cam, highlight and neon and up and down, up and down. That's what we need to do. Good morning, Krish. Good morning, Ricky. Good morning. So these are going to be the biggest reports of the week and the beige book. Okay, but keep your eye on existing home sales, and I've got plenty of real estate stocks to help you today. Good, good. Rich, I hope you took that trade. Liberty said, great trade. You got in at 18, out at 30. Good. That's more than 30%. Liberty, that's way more than 30%. If you got in at 18 and you got out and you made 12 cents, that's a lot more than 30%, my friend. Yeah, that's more like 66%. Right. Good. Eagle Beagle got the LW profit. Good. That's from Bargain Hunter. Good, good, good. I'm more excited about the Ally Bank. I like that one because that one still has the potential to go up 10 times. If Ally goes up right now, you can make some money over the next 4 days. If this thing comes up here, right here, your option's worth about 15 times what you paid for it right here. So, yes, the master class will be very, very cool for Kane. Rich says, do you buy the spread the day before the earnings? Yes. 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 And you don't have to do calls. You could do puts too. It's a non-directional trades. I just look for the biggest difference in implied volatility. You know how guys, good morning, Carlos. You know how you guys are always told, buy the options with the least implied volatility, sell the options with the most implied volatility? Well, your implied volatility on earnings date is like 300% implied volatility, 30% implied volatility. So that's the biggest opportunity to take advantage of that. My job is to teach you when to do certain things, when to eat your dessert and when to eat your steak. If you guys can learn that, you can learn to navigate this market. So as far as Fed data, we don't have a lot of Fed data this week. We do. We have a lot of Fed data this week, but it's not market moving. By the time we get to Friday, most of it will be done. What is market moving is earnings. Earnings. You are welcome. I'm going to be sending this to you right now. There you go. These are the biggest earnings of the week. I figured these are the ones you really want and the implied volatility. Tuesday, tomorrow, we've got a huge earnings day. We're moving into the broader market. Wednesday, we have a huge earnings date, including Tesla. And Thursday, we have a big earnings date. You don't have a big earnings date today, and you don't have a big earnings date on Friday. But anything between tomorrow and Friday, you've got a lot of earnings dates, okay? Crude oil. As I mentioned, crude oil, I don't think we're going to, I'm skeptical. By the way, I changed my VWAP, quarterly VWAP now to 10.1, okay? We're now at 10.1 because we've had now at least 3 weeks of trading in the new quarter, okay? So we've got 10.1, okay? So you could switch your quarterly VWAP to 10.1 now, okay? But you could see we have a lot of resistance right here. Exactly. A mechanic. Well, Rich, the way I was taught is a refrigerator. Call 10 refrigerator repairmen and tell them you have a problem. The guy who knows what he's doing, he's going to walk up to your refrigerator. He's going to listen to your refrigerator. He's going to go to his car. He's going to get the right tool, and he's going to go, bum, and your refrigerator's going to work. The refrigerator repairman who has no idea what he's doing, he's going to start taking your refrigerator apart. I've had that happen many times before. Just think about a good refrigerator repairman who's been doing Sub-Zeros for 20 years. He will walk into your kitchen. He will ask you 3 questions. He will bang a couple of things, listen, and he'll say, okay, I got it. I know what the problem is. That's what a good trader is. They know what tool to use at any given time. If you don't know what tool to use at any given time, that's much worse than me telling you what stock to buy or sell. Okay? Remember, before you could look at anything like this, learn to look at everything like this. Before you do this, learn to do this. The dogs become much clearer on this picture. If you do this, you won't see anything. Okay. So I think we're going to cool off and continue. We've had some news this weekend, and look, we still haven't been able to really get it up. I'm still bearish on energies. I would be selling because we're below the 50-day moving average. Yeah, uh, maybe Joey. I'll let you know the implied volatility. Gold. I told you that gold is still a bull. We're getting a little bit away from the 8-day EMA. So if you haven't bought gold or if you're holding gold, I wouldn't be adding on right now. It'd be just kind of holding and seeing what's happening. The odds are we're going to come back to the 8-day EMA before going higher and consolidate. Okay. Thank you, Deb. Look at that. We got 360 people in 15 minutes. I love that. FXI, China. Well, China had good news and we're already down. We huffed, we puffed, we went above the A line or the 8-day EMA one day. We can't get the quarter. Look at the quarter. We added it to 10. Here's where the quarter price is right now. Fair quarter to date price right here. We're below it. All right. I think we're going to come right down here. I think we're going to come right down here. I think we're going to huff, we're going to puff, and we're going to come right down here. And like nothing happened. I think it's going to take a little time, but we're once again below the 8-day right now, right here. So I don't think China has a lot going for it. 10-year. 10-year is not looking great, guys. I thought we were going to come back up here and hold the price action. We're below the quarter date VWAP. We're sitting at the year to date VWAP. We're pinched right now, but I'm telling you that I'm fearful because if we break this level right here, we can come down here and interest rates would just continue moving higher. Interest rates would just continue moving higher. Interest rates have been moving higher, putting pressure on the market. I don't know if you guys have looked, but your mortgage payment, if you have an adjustable 10-year, it's higher now than it was before. This will also put pressure on the utilities market right here. Utilities market will break down if bonds break down. The level I want you guys to pay attention to right now on the 10-year December contract is about 111.5 right here. If we break down, we're going to really break. But otherwise, I think we're going to hold this area for quite some time. I think we're just going to hold this area. I don't think we're going to hold on a second. See, we have the 200-day and we have the year-to-date VWAP right here. So ultimately, I think we're going to come right here and we're going to hold it. And there's a lot of price action around here. So the bond market is not helping the stock market at all right now. All right. The bond market is not helping the stock market at all right now. What about volatility? Well, remember I drew this for you and we've been kind of just coming right back down. But look at what's been going on the last few days. We were going down. We broke this level. We were breaking down, and now we're opening back in this range. Now, what do I always tell you guys? Once we enter a new range, we tend to traverse that range. So the question now is, are we going to break above the 19.5, 20 level or 19.5 and come back up here? Or is this just going to be a morning shakeout, and we're going to come right back here? So the areas right now on VIX that you want to pay attention to are the 19.5 level and the 18.5 level. Good morning, John. Good morning, Randy. Good morning, Deb. Good morning, everybody. Here are some links for you. First one is Kane's. Second one is mine. And don't forget, Customer Service Live, Cam and Gustavo show from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. All the goodies. And if you want to learn how to like set up Kane's stuff, get into it, learn all about it. If you ask Kane, I'm sure he'll make some videos and he can also teach Cam so Cam can explain it to you guys in great detail. Kane is very analytical, so I wouldn't worry about him not explaining things to you guys. He does a really good job of explaining things. And if you have any questions for me, here's my email address. No customer service questions, guys. Trading questions, hardcore trading questions, please. So again, the level you want on volatility right now to look at is 19.5. and 18 and a half. We want to see if we break this level. Also, keep in mind, today's Monday. Mondays are typically not a high velocity day. Now, we could have an exception to that, but generally speaking, Mondays are not high velocity days. Mondays are rotation days. All right. So volatility, I want you guys to really keep an eye on volatility because on a daily basis, it's still very much consolidating. And I'd love to see it break below the 18 level and come right back down right here to the 15 level. But I don't know if that's going to happen. I'd really love for it to come right back down here. But the 10-year is putting a lot of pressure on this market right now. Good morning, Rochelle. Good morning. I hope your husband's doing better this week than last week. Again, if we break this level on the bonds, right here, 111.04, right there, right in at the VWAP 200-day moving average. And if we break the 200-day moving average, then the Fed is going to have some explaining to do because bonds are going to be officially in a bear market. That would be kind of funny. We're lowering rates. Well, you need to do a better job lowering rates because this is now moving away from soft landing and into a bearish market on bonds. Okay. All right. Let's put everything together. And then I'll talk about levels and give you guys stocks. And hopefully I can get out of here in time to get to the office. Treasury yield climbed at the start of the busy week. They sure did. They've been climbing for a while now. Look, yield is climbing. Not good for utility stocks. Remember, utility stocks and bonds are correlated. Interest rates and bonds have an inverse correlation, and same thing with utilities. Dow made all-time highs on Friday, which is really good for financials. It's very hard for the Dow to make all-time highs without financials participating. Netflix surged 11%. Very nice. Lamb Weston, I know a lot of you guys made out like bandits. That was a position that we were holding. Gained over 10%. A lot of you made over 250% on your options. You're welcome. On the bearish side, American Express. When American Express falls and lowers its full year revenue growth guidance, that's very, 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 very bad. It's very, 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 very bad. Like really, really bad. Let's see where the levels are. And down this morning already. So what I'm hoping for now, this is still in an uptrend. What I'm hoping for is that American Express within the next 3 or 4 days turns around and starts trading above 280. That would be the most beautiful gap to green trade. The problem is I don't know if it'll happen or if it'll just continue moving down. As of right now, with the downgrade, I don't expect that to happen. But if it does, we'll be here waiting for it. Nice, Dr. Serena. Thank you for being such a great actuary. So the level you want, the level that Richard is writing on his notepad right now, I can't speak this early in the morning, is right around 279.32, 279 and a half. And then I would be watching if we come down, because if we break this level right here, 274, we're probably going to go down. Now, where's my templates? Where's my cheese? Who moves my cheese? Where's my hold on a second. I was just using this. Oh, templates. Here they are. There we are. So on a daily chart, that level is right here. That level you want to watch is right here. It's 279.50. If we break above this level, it's going to look really, really good. Really, 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 really good. Right here. 279.50, 280. But if it breaks down and it breaks this level, it's not going to be good. Now, folks, I'm really looking to take this trade. I'm not just telling you this. I literally Skype Matt. Look, let me show you. Look, this is a Skype I have to Matt. American Express. Look, AXP. 10-day low right after earnings. So we really do trade these things. I'm not just telling you something and telling Matt something different. I'm literally telling him the same thing I'm telling you. That I really like American Express right here at 279, 280, right around that level. Will you guys let me know when it hits that level? Do we have a deal? If in the next 2, 3 days it hits that level, 279.50, 279.80, will you guys tell me? Will you guys let me know? All right, we have a deal. Let's continue. Um, Housing starts were pretty much mixed. They weren't really bad. Building permits are fine. They weren't really all that bad. They were right in line. And we have a lot of housing data this week. We've got existing home sales and new home sales. All right. So we're going to deal with that. A lot of housing stocks to look at this week. Fed is now expecting the 90% probability of a 0.25 basis point rate drop. It will happen. They need it to happen now. Matter of fact, they need a 0.5 to happen right now because they need the bonds to come up. All they had to do was do nothing. And the kid would still be hoping, and the bond market would be right around here. But they had to take action, and look at what happened. They took action, and they didn't realize, but they were spending that last $300 that they had on food on the bike, and now they don't have any money for food. They have money for the kid is happy, but there's no money for food because the interest rates on his credit cards are too big. Yes, Peter. Yes, yes. Big impact. Big impact. It already did. It reported on Friday, and if you notice, the stock that we have in the pit. When American Express came out with the bad news, what did that stock do? It went up. All right. Comprende, Peter? Comprende? The stock we have in the pit went up on American Express being downgraded. That's a very, very powerful move. Very powerful move. I don't talk about the ticker symbols. I will after we're done with the trade, good or bad, but it's a good sign. When you have a downgrade in financials and you're holding a financial stock and the American Express goes down and your financial stock goes up, that's a good sign. Yes, same as NVIDIA on SMH, exactly. Yep, can't get baseball cards either for his bicycle wheels. There we go. All right, earnings. We've got just about everything this week. Keep an eye on Tesla, Coca-Cola, T-Mobile, Verizon. These are all the big ones. And as I said, I've highlighted them for you and gave them to you here. So you don't have to really worry about them. You have them right here. Hey, Gaston. Good morning. Gaston, you're going to have to start sending me your trade results pretty soon. You're holding out on me, Gaston. You're holding out on me, Gaston. You can hide. You can run, but you can't hide. I know you've been getting those 10, 11, 12 percenters like this, boom, 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 one after the other since you changed those options. You can run, but you can't hide, Gaston. Gaston, congratulations for passing the exam. Gaston is now a certified financial advisor. He lives in Uruguay. He takes our trades, and he's a certified financial advisor. He passed the exam. So congratulations, Gaston. Beige Book. Good morning, Don. Beige Book survey. That's what comes out on Wednesday at 2:00. That's the regional business contacts this week. Economic conditions for 12 federal business districts. It's pretty important. It comes out 2 weeks before the Federal Open Market Committee. That's this report that's coming out right here at 2:00. Okay. Europe is down just a hair. Investors are waiting for a further catalyst. Tension in the Middle East is not impacting the energy market, which means it's not that bad. Upcoming U.S. presidential election is keeping everything subdued, including here in the U.S. I'm expecting volume to be very, very low in the next couple of weeks, which means it's going to be very difficult for us to day trade. I'm going to repeat what I just said again. Volume is going to be very low the next couple of weeks headed into the election because there's a lot of unforeseeability. When you have very, very low volume, it makes day trading very difficult. It's not because of me. It's not because I'm lazy. It's not because I have anything better to do. It's just because the waves are small. So when the waves are small, you can't surf. You can't boogie board. You understand? It's not because of me. Blame it on the election, okay? Blame something on the president. Yeah, congrats, Gaston. Day I wouldn't hold anything. Yeah, he started Rich with Gaston. So let me tell you what Gaston was doing. Gaston was taking trades from my pit, and he was picking stocks that have 3 to 4 weeks to go with a 70 delta. and he was getting 4 to 6% return, and he was really upset because everybody else was getting 10, 12% return. So Gaston and I came up with a game plan to take his options from 3, 4 weeks to 10 days. Keep the delta 70, but keep them at 10 days out, not 3 to 4 weeks. And boom, Gaston was able to switch everything from 4 to 6% to about 10%. And Gaston, if there's anything here that I'm saying that's not 1,000% accurate, please correct me. I would appreciate it. Okay. Yes, bonds correlate with XLU because interest rates have an inverse correlation with XLU. Yeah, Gaston, if there's something I'm saying here that is not 100% correct, please correct me. That's what we're here for. 418 people in 30 minutes. I love that. That's how much we used to get in 1 hour. If you remember, my actuary, in 1 hour we used to get like about this much. Now we're getting it in 30 minutes. All right. All right. China closed higher today. No, they didn't. Well, maybe they closed higher, but now they're lower again. So here's that. RJ says that's what's happening to me too. You recommended going to 10 days then. Yes. Yes, exactly. 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 And again, Gaston, I know you're here, so please, correct me if there's anything that I'm saying that it's much more powerful when they hear it from you guys than when they hear it from me. When they hear it from me, they get skeptical and they think I'm being a used car salesman. They don't know me well enough. But when they hear it from you, they actually believe you guys, and it actually makes a difference. So please speak up. Solar semiconductor stocks led the gains on Monday. We're going to be watching solar and semiconductor stocks. By the way, solar stocks are not leading the way here. And by the way, solar stocks are favored by Democrats and they're breaking down. I don't know if that's meaningful, but it's my job to tell you that. And I have a couple of solar stocks for you today. And I did cover solar stocks in greater detail last week. Gaston, which level? Liberty, I don't know what that means, which level. Gaston, if you're here, can you confirm that what I'm saying is true? Please feel free to confirm, deny, do whatever you want. Just say whatever you want to say. But you may want to answer some questions. Gaston's in Uruguay, Liberty. I think it's there. They have different levels over there. He's in Uruguay. He doesn't live in America. He lives in Uruguay. He sent me an email. The guy went to Greece on a vacation. He was making good money while I was stuck in my office. How dare you, Gaston? All right. So solar stocks are doing well there. They're not doing well here. Japan closed just below the flat line amid ongoing political uncertainty. Financial and heavy machinery stocks lost ground in Japan. At the same time, tech stocks advance. I guess they're tracking their peers in the. We've had some pretty good strength in tech the last few days because of earnings, which have been really, really great. Boeing gained 3% pre-market. The strike is over. UPS fell. They got downgraded. I don't really follow Spirit Airlines, but they gained 54%. When something gains 54%, I always kind of question it. I always think Momo, momentum stocks. But keep your eye on UPS today and keep your eye on Boeing today, okay? And definitely keep your eye on American Express right here. All right. I can't believe I'm giving you such red meat here, but why not, right? And don't forget, if you guys want the real red meat, the Cam and Gustavo show from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Customer service live. Take care, Sarah. Good morning, Ed. Yes, 70%. He goes in the money 70%. UPS has earnings this week. We have that right there. 6% expected move. And I gave you this sheet. I'll post it again so you guys can look at it. I don't have to repeat. You just have to rewatch this video. Just rewind the video here. It's like having an instant recorder on your side. You're doing great, Gaston. Just keep doing what you're doing. That's what Gaston always tells me. Just keep doing what you're doing. So, all right. Oh, also ServiceNow got downgraded. Let me take a look at ServiceNow. It's an expensive stock. Yeah, nice little downgrade. I would wait for this to get below the 50-day and then start pouncing on it. All right. Let's look inside. Let's look at our momentum levels. Let's look at our momentum levels. As of right now, we've only have 323 stocks breaking up. Last Friday, we were at 380, or Thursday, we were at 384. Earlier in the week, we were at 373. So we hit that 400, we almost hit that 400 level twice and we backed away. Right now, we're not that far. We have 323, but keep an eye on this, okay? That the percentage next to it, Regeneron, is the expected move. Expected move. Based on the options prices right now, the at the money option prices, that's what the expected move is. The problem is we don't know if it's expected move up or down. We just know that's the expected move. Okay? And if you have any more questions, just email me. But that's the expected volatility from the underlying. Like Dow or UNP is expected to move 3.3% based on the current options price. Yeah, we get fancy around here. All right. So you could see, though, that we're clearly favoring the upside. We only have 38 raw stocks and 323, but this is just saying we're bullish. This isn't saying we're really overextended. This is saying we could come down or we could just stay near this level. When we get near 400, that's when or over 400, that's when it's really important. But what happens? What about our dynamic, market dynamic? Well, if you remember, last week we had interest rate sensitivity, blue chip sensitivity, technology sensitivity. That's how we were last week. Interest rates, blue chips, technology. Now things are shifting. Things are shifting. You're starting to see blue chips. You're starting to see blue chips starting to come up. You're starting to see interest rate sensitive cool off, and you're starting to see technology come up. So again, as you're getting higher towards that 300, 400 level, you're starting to see things mixed up. But last week, it was very clear. Interest rate, small cap interest rate, blue chips, technology. Now it looks like speculative stocks are starting to come down because you got real estate and utilities here, financial. That's blue chips. You're starting to see Russell 2000 not up here, but now down here. And you're starting to see communication and consumer discretionary come up here and not be down here like they were last week. Let me show you. Look, Russell 2000, retail, financial, home builders, material, industrial, and look where communication and consumer discretionary are. Right next to here. Communication, consumer discretionary, technology, QQQ, and look at today. Uh, that's today. That's this morning. You've got utilities, you've got real estate, you've got financial. They're all above Russell. You got basic materials and consumer discretionary and communication services are no longer down here, and technology and QQQ are not down here. So if it wasn't for semiconductors, technology would be coming up. The bottom line is it looks like small caps are starting to cool off, and it looks like blue chips are defensive stocks are starting to come back up to the top, and technology stocks are starting to rear their ugly head, which makes sense because we've got earnings coming out. So we're moving from interest rates, small caps interest rates, blue chips technology to blue chips technology at the expense of interest rates. I hope to God you're writing this down. Okay. All right. So we have the momentum. We have the score. We have pretty much what's going on. We know what sectors are leading, which ones are lagging right now. We see that the Dow Jones is up here. Dow Jones was down here. Now it's up here. See Dow Jones down here. It's starting to come a little bit higher. It's up coming up here at the expense of. So again, we have a pretty mixed bag, but you could see that technology and blue chips are starting to rear their ugly head at the expense of the Russell 2000, financials, and all of those. So again, but financials are technology. Matter of fact, let's see where financials were last week. Financials were here. Financials were here. Financials were here. Financials were here last Thursday, so they are a little cooler, but not coming off too much. Financials are here. So basically financials haven't really moved all that much, but home builders and Russell 2000 has. You could see that right here. And I love looking through this, and I highly recommend you set this up for yourself. And you could do this on TC 2000, you could do this on Thinkorswim, you could do this on everything. I have this on my TC 2000 and I use that during the day. There's Gaston. Oh, all right. Oh, Gaston, he said, everything you said is true. Well, there you have it. Straight from the horse's mouth. Yeah, Gaston was struggling. He was 4-6% averaging, and he was really like, he was trying really hard. He was doing everything we said. He was getting discouraged, and then we tweaked it. Gaston is happy now. Mazel tov. All right. Let's now talk about key levels and SPY. So the SPY is still above the 8-day moving average. See, guys, I don't just give you signals, and I actually help you become better traders. That's the key. So year-to-date VWAP, quarter-to-date VWAP as of 10, beginning of this month, this is fair value from the quarter. This is fair value from the year. We're way above fair value, and we're still above the 8-day EMA. The fact that we are, remember, this is today. This doesn't count. This is today. So we only have this data to look at. Let me erase this. This doesn't really doing us any good here. So this is the data we're dealing with right now. This is right now. So this hasn't happened yet. So this is where we're at right now. Notice this. Notice S&P made a lower low on Friday, but the stock that we're holding in the pit made a higher high. So we like that. That's a very, very good sign. But right now, everything is a little bit lower. But we're still above the 8-day EMA. Remember, I mean, look, we can come down 2-3 days here and then make a new high. We can come down 3-4-5 days here and make a new high. So I'm not really that concerned as long as we're here. Because look, the truth is, thank you, Gaston. The truth is, we are at all-time highs. I mean, we're not exactly, Roger. We're like a hair. Look, folks, we're at all-time highs. So you're going to have a lot of liquidity. You're going to have a lot of bullish moves. You're going to have a lot of stocks making 90-day breakouts. But that's where we're at right now. And I could pick on this chart forever, but we are at all-time highs. Okay. So again, this hasn't happened yet. We're right here. And that looks beautiful. Okay. Intraday, let me give you levels, which are very important now. Intraday, the level we want to pay attention to. Just to show you how much I care about you guys, my parents went to LA to visit my aunt and uncle and my nephews. Since I've been to LA last time, 5 years ago, I've had 2 nephews born, and I haven't visited them yet. And what I should have done was go with my parents and visit them, but I didn't because I've got you guys to deal with. So I need to figure out a good time to go back to Los Angeles to visit my nephews because I haven't seen them since they were born. So that's what I got to do. That's something I really got to do, and got to put business first and visit my nephews. Two nephews that I haven't seen yet. Not good. All right, SPY, the intraday level on SPY is 582.32. 584.84 on the upside. I mean, you could mark it as all-time highs because if we get here, we're probably going to go to all-time highs. But that's the levels you guys want to watch. I know, Stacy, I know, but it's hard with you guys. It's very hard. It's very, very hard with you guys and airlines. And they used to have a direct flight. I think they're going to start it again during the holidays because it's been canceled. So it would take me 8 hours to get to LA too. So I'm hoping the direct flights will start again and I'll hop on again. Otherwise, I'll have to get a jet. And I'm not into that. All right. So 582.40, 584. Ooh, look at that. 450 people. Let's look at the QQQ. I would really pay attention to these levels, guys, because it's Monday. And Mondays are rotation days. So if we break these levels, it could be meaningful. Look at this. We've lost already a big portion of what we gained on the QQQs on Friday. Typically, when we start selling off on the QQQs, market cap moves into blue chips. And I don't know if you guys noticed last week, if you had the QQQ on in the Dow, anytime that tech sold off last week, money would move into financials. I was watching financials really closely last week, and I was noticing that anytime the QQQ had a down arrow, financial stocks had an up arrow. Yes, I'll have to get up at 4 a.m. Yeah. Alexander said, sorry, probably terribly late on comments. Watch it delayed. Oh, it's all good, Alex. That's all good. Alex, if you have a question, you can always email me. Uh, Alexander, you can always email me. Feel free to email me. I don't think I saw a comment from you, but if you have a comment, just post it here and I'll definitely answer it for you. Yeah, but doing this at 4 o'clock in the morning is not exciting. Or actually 5 o'clock in the morning. It's not exciting. All right. Levels for the QQQ. Folks, pay attention to this level. You see, the reason you got to pay attention to this level, 489.47, is if we break this level, we enter this twilight zone. And don't forget, Customer Service Live, Cam and Gustavo show from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. every single day, Monday through Friday. They are amazing to put everything together. So again, if we break this level in the QQQ, this puts us right here. And look at how choppy we are here. And we have a lot of consolidation here. So if we come down here, we could stay here for a while. No, Liberty, not a good time right now. Not a good time right now. Plus, I'm going Friday to. Not Friday. I'm going Saturday to Universal Studio with Rachel and my wife. But maybe maybe spring break. I'm thinking spring break. Can you introduce a section on how this is tying into the national debt? No, R, I can't, and I'll explain to you why. Because the national debt, figuring out how this plays into the national debt will not help you make money today. My sole job in the last year has become, see, I used to do that, R. I used to do that, and I've realized people don't, they tell me they want to hear it, but they really don't. What people want from me is how to make money in the next 24 hours. That's what they really want. Now, if I ask people what they want, they're going to tell me gazillion things, but I'm going to tell you what you guys want. You guys want to know from me how to make money over the next 24 hours. If I tell you anything besides that, it's not going to directly help you. So what I've done a year ago is I made a conscious decision to stop talking about anything that doesn't help you directly make money in the next 24 hours. Since I've started doing that, the number of people following me has doubled. The number of positive emails I've been getting has multiplied by a factor of 30 to 1. The Pit has become the number one program in the pub, and I've been getting more clients than I know what to do with. So I'm going to stick to what I'm doing because it seems to be working. Okay. I'm only going to focus on what's going to help you make money tomorrow. I could talk about the national debt for 10 hours. It's not going to help you. It's going to confuse you and it's going to throw you off. The only thing I care about is how to help you make money in the next 24 hours. If it doesn't concern that, I'm not going to talk about it. All right? All right. So QQQ, if we get here, it doesn't look good. And that level right now, you could see is 493, 494, 489. Okay. Here, let me show you. I even got pictures of my wife was sending me pictures yesterday. Here's one of my nephews. Never met this kid before. I want to meet him. Here's another one. I want to meet her. Haven't met my relatives. I haven't met them yet. Anyways, makes me want to cry. 489. All right, let's do the Dow Jones. Dow Jones. We got a couple of levels here. We got 430, 431, 433, 428.77. See what I'm saying? Sabrina doesn't sleep for this. When you do come to the left coast, set a market set a meet and greet for those of us out there. I will do that. Yep, bring a kid a bike, exactly. Yeah. Well, at least my parents are there right now. They're having fun. All right, let's look at SMH. My folks landed yesterday at about 3 o'clock, so they're there right now. Uh, about 255 SMH, 250. Now, notice we're going into this level, folks. Thank you, George. You see this level we're in right now? That's the level I'm fearful that we're going to get into on the QQQ. Let me show you. I got to spend a little time here with you guys because this is important. See QQQ's right here, and I keep saying if we break right here, we're going to go into this choppy area on the QQQ where, well, if you look at SMH, it looks like we're there right now. So if you look at SMH, we are already in that area right here. Now let me zoom out. If I zoom out, you'll see this right here? See how see there's a lot of trading range right here? We could be stuck here for quite some time. And also, once we enter a new range, the odds are we will traverse that range. Semiconductors. Did we ever make it to 265? Nope. We made it to 262 to 262. The level I want is 265. If anybody bought without going up to 265, you lost money. Look, nothing good happened here. We need to wait till we're right up here for something good to happen. Be patient. Be patient. Be patient. 265. But Roger, I didn't want to wait for you. I got in at 262 and then you lost money because we're right here right now. And the odds are we're going to come down to 238. Now I know Rich listened to me. I know Penny listened to me. I hope you guys listen to me. I hope Brian listened to me. Brian, you listen. Yeah, Brian listens. He's good about that. So SMH, let's do IWM, and then we'll move on to momentum levels and the stocks I have for you guys for today. Russell is not strong today. We're breaking down. The next, we're already in this area. Not good. Let me just expand this a little bit here. The level you want to watch is 225, and then on the bottom we have here 221. We have a good extended area, and then so 225, 221, 222. Yes, you're right, Eagle. We are going to be very restricted. Volume is very low. Volume is like a third of what it was a year ago right now. Volume a year ago on the SPY was 80 million contracts. Can you guys tell me what volume was on Friday? Yes, shorting it is good. Can you guys tell me what volume on the SPY was on Friday? Let me know, please. Please let me know. All right, momentum levels. Momentum levels. Index, NASDAQ 100 has the most vulnerability. Small cap 600 has the most vulnerability. Russell 2000 has the most vulnerability. The speculative stocks have the most. Let me know, guys, what volume on the SPY was on Friday. Just post it here for me if you don't mind. Thank you. So we still have a lot of vulnerability. The least vulnerability is in the S&P 500. We're over. And where's the Dow Jones? The Dow Jones is looking great. So anything that has blue chips, notice financials, 93%, 97%, industrial, 90%, 86%, basic materials, 82, 75. But if you look at consumer, if you look at technology right here, 74, 71, 71%, the most vulnerable, a lot of vulnerability. 37. Okay. Thank you, Richard. So think about this. Volume on Friday was 37 million. Okay. 37 million. A year ago, the average volume was between 70 and 80 million on the SPY. Not even a year ago when we started the pit. It was about 80 million, 70 to 80 million. It's now 37 million. Do you guys understand how low volume is right now? Very, very low. Almost 2/3 down. What about the broad market and momentum levels? Well, we're not getting much higher. Look, 61%, 59, 61. So you don't have as many stocks breaking higher, even though we are at all-time highs. Thank you, guys. Thank you for that. 37. Yeah, seems to be 36, 37. About this, just what I thought in the mid-30s. So we still have only 61% of stocks, which means the larger stocks are predominantly dominating the market, which is not a great thing because interest rate sensitive stocks are supposed to take over when interest rates go when interest rates start declining. Have you got interest rates started declining right here? And what did interest rates do? They're increasing. They're increasing, which is keeping the pressure, on these stocks right here, on the smaller stocks. Yes, Stacy, what happens is, here's what happens. So guys, let me explain this to you. I only have a few minutes left. I want to get into my stocks, but here's what happens. A regular summer, we start getting quieter right around second week of June, and we start picking up second week of September. You may want to write this down. When we have elections, we start slowing down a lot later. We start slowing down beginning of July, and we start speeding up middle of after the election. So the summer gets pushed forward like this, about 3.5 weeks to a month. So the summer, usually the quiet period is between middle of June and middle of September. It gets pushed. So it's like beginning middle of July, middle end of October. I hope that makes sense. It's been that way for a very long time. So it doesn't slow down around elections. That's not what happens. It just takes longer for the summer to end. It goes from here, this window, to this window. Now, I've been monitoring this in real time over the last probably 6 elections, and I've seen that in real time. So trust me on this. That's just how it works. I don't know why it happens that way. Well, actually, I kind of do. It makes perfect sense because you have more speculation, so the speculation in the summer continues a little longer, but then it dries up earlier because of the election. So it's going to be very hard to day trade with volume that's about half of regular volume over the next couple of weeks. It has nothing to do with me. It has nothing to do with the program. It's simply a function of election, okay? All right, then let me put everything together for you and give you stocks that I'm looking at, okay? Short side first. So, uh, TAN, I told you last week the TAN looked like it was breaking down. And I told you that I would give you a couple of stocks that look better than the index. The stocks on my chopping block, the solar stocks are First Solar. And when these stocks move, they tend to really move well, like really well. It's now below the 200-day moving average. Well, October is the most volatile month of the year, Penny. So look, First Solar already broke the 200-day moving average. And SEDG. Now, if I'm showing you two stocks in the same industry, it means you only pick one. And this one is moving, breaking down. So two stocks and the index are breaking down. Not good for Democrats. Just saying, not good for Democrats. Now let me give you my short list. LRCX. This is the most bearish tech stock right now. Now, my suggestion would be to wait for it to break this level. And I think if SMH breaks down, stocks like ASML will break further. It's already, see, look, that stock is already trying to fill in this gap right here this morning. Can just come right back down. But there's a lot of downside on SMH this morning. So just FYI, LRCX looks to be the weakest one right now. Keep your eye on LRCX. BG, another bearish stock. And again, I'm going a little fast and I'm going all over the place, but you guys can always rewind tape. CNC, BG, CNC. XPro. And again, don't be afraid to buy strength and sell weakness. XPRO, REGN. Eagle Beagle, I hope you're doing well. Hope you'll be around this week. This stock just broke the 200-day, and it doesn't look like it has a lot of reprieve. It is expensive, but nonetheless. DK, the leak, I've never traded the stock. I don't even know what they do, but it doesn't really make any difference to me. Let's just take a quick look. Oil. Oh, perfect. Perfect. Oh, this could be the weakest oil stock, potentially. See, nice to know. Very nice. And I'm bearish on oil right now because I told you crude oil As long as we're below the 50-day moving average, I'm bearish. See how I'm connecting the dots for you guys? That's the last bearish stock. Now let's do some A lines. I like this for a potential A line, Brian. It has to break out a little bit. It has to break a little bit above this price on volume, like right here, like 81.20. I can't believe I'm giving you all this red meat here. 81.30, but why not, right? See how to make money today. And I already told you American Express. I'm hoping, which I don't know if it'll happen, not this morning, but I'm hoping that American Express will begin trading above 280. Fingers and toes crossed in the next few days. If it doesn't happen within the next few days, you don't want it. Now, financial stocks. Now look at here. BX looks really good. JP Morgan looks really good. You only need one. Man, this looks just like the stock from the pit. And RJF looks good. Now, are you going to buy all three of them? No. Are you going to buy any of these if you have the stock in the VIP room? No. No, you're not. You're just going to watch and salivate. ABT, another one. And anybody in the pit knows exactly what I'm talking about. Nothing needs to be said. Nothing needs to be explained. Everything is self-explanatory. ABT, CBRE. Remember I told you real estate is starting to heat up a little bit? We got a lot of real estate reports. The stock is looking beautiful. Now, that is a beauty right there. You got to admit, that is a beauty right there. That is a beauty right there. Pulte Homes and TOL. Are you going to buy both of them? Of course not. That is a beauty right there. And look at Toll. Now, if you have a huge account and you don't know which one and you want to buy 1,000 shares or 10 contracts, you can buy 5 and 5, but don't go double dipping. Toll looks just like Pulte. I don't know which one will be the big winner, but they're highly correlated. SO, utility stock. What a beauty. Um, Dash still looks good. I've probably put the stock on my dashboard 100 times in the last month. No kidding. CRM looks good. I like fintech right now. I still like fintech. At the 8-day EMA, be careful here. Be careful with tech this week. Be careful with tech. Picard. Oh, what a beauty right there. What a beauty. Look at that. Nice breakout. Higher highs all through here. That's a stock that looks like it wants to go higher. Uh, ADP looks really good. Hilton and Marriott, obviously you don't need two. Just pick one. There's Hilton, and you see why I'm giving them to you guys together? Because it's the same thing. You don't need to pick two. Just pick one. One to a customer. Again, if you don't know which one and you want to trade 100 shares, trade 50 and 50 in each one. But don't double dip. Don't do 200. ALSN. I just got a couple more and I'll let you guys go. Fast. And TTD. And watch, I'm going to get an email saying, Roger, should I buy BX and JPM, or should I just buy RJF or BX, or should I just buy? I'm still going to get an email. Watch, I will get an email. One to a customer, one stock and one sector to a customer. Google is not on my list. No. But then a lot of stocks are not on my list. Doesn't say anything. It just means not on my list. Election or not. All right. That's all I've got for you guys today. Customer service live, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Don't forget, Kane is going on his own today. I won't be there. VIP room at noon. You don't want to miss out. There it is. I will see you guys later. Have a fantastic day. If there's anything I missed, Roger at rogerscott.com. I hope you guys have a fantastic day today. Bye, everyone. Have a great day.